Hello everyone and welcome back to Randomized Building, where I began my last random build in the last episode, and that is my sci-fi themed village. What I'm going to do today is hopefully try to get pretty far on this build, and the first thing that I'm going to do is finish up the rest of these houses. In the last episode, I got 8 done and I have another 9 planned out. So I'm going to go ahead and try to finish up these houses just like the bare bones skeleton like I've been doing. And I'll see how far I get. Hopefully all the way done before I make another clip and come back. So let's build and I'll be right back. Okay, I finished up the rest of the village and here it is. Here's the whole thing. It's all done. Well, not really, but the houses are, like, the facade of the houses are done. The insides aren't either, but this is a good starting point. Now, I have worked on a tiny little bit of two kind of more mock-ups. I want the inside of this place to be kind of gray, so I'm going to fill it mostly with gravel. And then our path bits are going to be this andesite. I don't know why I said anthracite, that was weird. But the path bits are going to be andesite. And I'm going to copy that throughout this entire place. But before I copy the path, I need a wall. So here's my wall design. I think it's good because it matches like the grayness of the houses, but it's a slightly like different color. I'm using this smooth stone slabs because it's gonna match with the roofs, and I think it'll just kind of tie everything together. I don't actually know how much I like that topping right there. What about what other kind of slabs could we get? What about some of these? These polished blackstone brick slabs. Yes, I think I like that a lot better. Yeah, I think that is. I'm thinking. Now I'm even leaning towards more of just making it all like that. What if? Ooh. Okay, hold on. One more idea. Ah, I like that. I like that a lot more. So just keep like the middle bits, but then these bits will match like the tops. Ooh, okay. Okay. I like this a lot more. I'm gonna change this wall bit right here. Okay. That's a lot cooler. I like that a lot more. Yeah, we're gonna do this. And I still like the chains because then you can see outside of this little compound area. But I do like the blackstone a lot more than I did the basalt. So we're gonna go with blackstone instead because I think it looks a lot prettier. So yeah, and it'll stand out against like the gray on the ground too, more so than the basalt as well, which because it'll be good to have some variation in that too. So I think I'm gonna try and get this wall up around the village, and I'll come back when this wall is all done, so I have at least kind of an outline of how big I want this place to be. Alrighty, the wall around the village is up, and I really like how the wall turned out. I think it's like a good size because there's definitely some like areas within the village that I can build still. So I can create like market stalls or whatnot. I also have over here an entrance. It's not very like fancy or anything, and it's got like these stacked carpets on either side, so hopefully mobs won't be able to get in because they can't pathfind across them. That is the hope, at least. I am going to run into that apparently. I am going to try and make this a little bit bigger and nicer. Let me see. Okay, there we go. Now it looks more like an entrance. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and the next step is to terraform the inside of this place because I do still have a few like drop off areas like this cave, this water cave right here, as well as like this hill overall is just kind of like not fantastic. And I do have to just go ahead and replace everything with gravel because that's what I want to use for the floor of the whole village area, and then I'll start putting in the paths. But I think step one, just fill the area with gravel. Everything is going to be covered in gravel. So I'm going to begin the gravelification, that's what we're calling that, of this whole village. And I'll be back when that's done. It shouldn't take too long because it's for the most part flat and I shouldn't have to terraform very much, but we'll see. When I come back, this village will be filled with gravel. Okay, I have been working on this path for a bit. I literally just started recording and I saw a bit that I should fix. There. Okay. I've been working on this path for a bit, and I really like how all of this has turned out. This is all of the ground and all of the paths done. And oh, I love it. I think it's fantastic. There is quite a few places where obviously I could connect up with paths, like over here, over there, but I kind of think in these big, huge open areas, I do want to build something. So, like here, right here, um, possibly there, and then in this spot over here as well. There's a bit of open space. And I think that the thing that I want to build in those spots is related to how these villagers or these people that live here would get food. So I want to build a few crop farms with an assortment of crops, and then I would also like to build a few animal stables. I do have some animals trapped in here with these guys. I know there's a pig over here somewhere. There's a cow right there. This guy's got a pig. And then there's a bunch more out here. So I think I'll grab 2 sheep, another cat. There's some cows and a boat here as well. But I'll just try to... Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting to, like, record this. But over here, there's this bunch of pumpkins. And look at how many pigs there are. Like, why are there so many pigs? I don't understand. But there are a ton of pigs. I might also be able to do a horse stable. That would be kind of cool. I don't know. But I do know that I want some sort of animal stables just to give these guys some sort of food and some crop stables too. I also ended up catching these guys right here. They were walking around, and I think having them in the village somewhere would be kind of cool as well. As just more of the guys in the village. I for a while thought that these guys would be my only things in the village, but I really don't know. I really feel like having a mix of pacified pillagers and villagers would be good, just to show off that there's more than one kind of mob in this village that are living here and have created a life in this little place. So yeah, my next step is going to be building up places for animals and crops within this village, and I might still leave some spots out for like market stalls and such. I'm not totally sure on that yet, but I think that animals and plants are going to be the next thing going in here, so I'm going to get some of that built up and I'll be right back. Alrighty, the farms are all built now. I've got a farm here, and it's got all of the crops in it. It's probably almost fully grown, yeah. But there's another one, a little one hidden right there. I kind of left this area open. I figured that could be like a private little farm. I've also got the rest of them are down here in this area. There's this one over here, this pumpkin and melon one, and it's pretty large. There's a pretty big sugarcane farm over here. I've got cows, sheep, chickens, and pigs, and then this other little pumpkin, pumpkin and melon farm right there. So yeah, that's all of my little farms built up, and I still have quite a bit of space. I've got this lot here, this, and probably this too. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and turn some of this into greenery space, like little parks and such with benches. I'm going to turn some of it into some market stalls, and cow on a mountain. And I'm gonna turn probably this bit or this bit. I'm thinking this one right here. And I'm gonna maybe make a statue here. Just of something. I don't know what the statue will be of yet, but that's who this town, like who founded the town or whatever. Something like of that sort. Just to kind of finish up the other little spaces in this town, perhaps add a bit more greenery in here, that would be nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a few more spots of this like plot built up. Yeah, be right back. All right. Well, this place looks a lot different than it did a few minutes ago. And that's because the outside facade area I think is done. I've got a bunch of street lamps everywhere all along the pathways. I put all of the villagers that I had. I only ended up with 4, but that's okay because I made 4 stalls. I've got these cute little banners around. I put them in their stalls. They're all in here. I made this statue, and I really like this. I like this guy a lot. I have him there. I've got this cool 4 portal design here. I also started pacifying these pillagers. I've only gotten around to this guy. Um, and he's the only one that I've done because they take so long. Yeah, so like that guy still has a crossbow, as does the captain over here. Um, and I think that these guys are gonna go in the double houses that I'll turn into like shops at the bottom. So I'll make them little clerk desks that they can sit at, and I think that'll be a good spot for them because then they have a spot too. I also have a few of these little greenery places around. I've got another little park over here as well as some more crops. A few of my crop places are kind of hidden, but I feel like that's okay. And I've gotten the paths all around so that everything that you would want to walk to, you have a path to. There's also a few different ways that you can walk to things, like you can walk that way or this way down to here. A lot of different stuffs. The part that I am not super fond of, but I couldn't really figure out a good alternative, is these lanterns in the ground. There's just not a lot I can do about that. What I might end up doing is grabbing some gray or black glass and dropping them down a block, putting the glass over it. That might be nice, and then it would give it a little bit more, just not like this weird yellow color sticking out along everything. Because they do kind of stick out quite a bit, and I don't really love it. So, yeah, I might end up dropping those down and putting some glass on top of it. I'm not completely sure yet, but that leaves the last bit of the village, which is the inside of every house. Like I said, these double tall ones will have pillagers inside them once I pacify all of them, and all of the other houses will be filled as well. I'm not going to leave anything roaming out in this village just because I don't feel... I know it's all lit up, but I still just don't want things roaming out here because they can go into the nether, they can get lost, whatever. I just don't want to. But yeah, so... Oh wait, there's another villager over here. Maybe I'll make him his own stall somewhere. I'll find a spot somewhere and I'll put another stall. I could do it like right here, so just to give that guy a little spot. I forgot I had him. I even did a couple flyovers to see if I'd gotten them all, but that's alright. We'll make sure that he also has a home. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, finish up the... That was a bit of lag. I'm gonna finish up the last little bits of this village that I have to build, and I'll be back with this thing done. Alright, the village is done, and here it is in all of its glory. Not much on the outside has changed, if I'm being honest, since you last saw it. But what has changed is the interiors. I finished all of the interiors of everything. This one, probably one of my favorites if I'm being honest. I'll show you a few of them. It's got a little bathroom, some mirrors. I love them. Food areas, and this one has a loft for the bed, which is pretty cool. Not all of the houses have bathrooms. They all do have beds, though. This is a cafe where I decided to put one of these guys. I named them Huey, Dewey, and Louie because I had 3 of them, and that was the first like triplet name I could think of. So yeah, this is Huey. Yeah, here's the cafe. It's got like a little bathroom in here. I think the bathrooms are cute. But yeah, it's like a little cafe in here. I also put glowing signs, the coffee cafe, above the places that were stores. Or places that you would want to go to if you were visiting this village. Most of the other places are houses. So basically, if it doesn't have a sign above it, it is a house. This is another one with a little loft. It's super cute. But here's the general store. I use some of the mob heads because we have the same texture pack that's on Hermitcraft. Or I guess it's a resource pack. And here's this little guy. And actually, staff would be able to come up here, and this is where this guy lives. I will probably end up taking a nap in one of their beds pretty soon, too. That's where that guy would live. Then there's this one over here, which is the restaurant. It's got a bunch of tables in here. It's got a pretty good amount of seating, actually. And then upstairs is actually where I decided to put the kitchen, because I thought that was a pretty good place for it. It's got a little computer desk, some storage. These are like a cabinet with some stuff in it. Pretty snazzy. There is no bed in this house, so I'm going to go across the way. The other place that I put the villagers was in the 2 shops down here. The first shop is right here. Well, it's not a shop, it's a hotel. And it's got a little reception desk. It's got some seating down here, whether it's for breakfast or whatnot. The first room is right over here with the adjoining bathroom and then the bed area. And then there is another one upstairs right here with the, again, bathroom, bed area, all the snazzy stuffs. I figured if this was just a town in the middle of nowhere, they'd want somewhere for people who are just dropping by to be able to, like, rest for the night. So I figured having a hotel was going to be pretty cool. And then the final little guy, he's over in here. This is our library. So it's got a little reading area back here and just a ton of books in here that they can check out. Gotta have some knowledge in this post-apocalyptic, sci-fi, whatever world. And yeah, just more like cute little houses and everything. Seating areas, all the good stuff. This tiny house I actually turned into an office kind of space. So I thought this was either, like in my head, I thought it was either a bank or a like therapist's office, like one of the two. Just because of how it's all set up and everything in here. And because I really didn't have a lot of space to work with, I couldn't do like a whole house. I could do a whole house in here, but I didn't really want to. I wanted to kind of leave it a little bit more open. The other thing I did was I added pebbles on the ground everywhere. So everywhere has all of these little pebbles, which I really think adds some nice depth to the entire place where it's not just all flat gravel. There is some rocks around. And I also put carpet, like layered carpet, on by the portal so that piglins, I mean zombified piglins, because that's mainly what's been coming through, won't get out. And the final thing is this villager over here that I added. He's got his little stand now. None of the villagers are named because they're not going to despawn. I only named the pillagers because they could probably despawn. I'm not 100% sure because I pacified them, but I'd rather be safe than sorry about those guys. Yeah, so there is like 2 things I still have to do in order to make sure this village is fully completed. And thing 1 is to get all of this cleaned up. I didn't mean to do that. I already cleaned up my shulker box mechs, and I took all of those home and organized it all, so all of that is put away in our chests at home. I just had those few crops growing right there, as well as my lookout tree. I'm going to take one last look from the tree at all of this. This is a fantastic build. I love this so much. It's such an amazing, like, little starter village. Well, not starter. It's like a medium-sized build. I think this is going to be the size of all of the builds that I go for in this series, where they're not too mega like the mountain Ez is building, but like a good amount of building and terraforming and all of that went into this, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It looks so cute, and it definitely still looks like the village that I had here in the first place, which is really nice because it's just a recreation of an actual Minecraft village that I just tailor everything out of and changed it all to a sci-fi village. With that, I'm gonna go ahead, bust down all of this tree, and there we go. Wow. Oh, that is fantastic. That looks so cool. It's such a cool little marker in the landscape and everything. Wow. I'm really happy with how this build turned out. Really happy. That's so cool. Oh, that's fantastic. All right. Well, with that done, with that village done, that is actually where I'm going to end off the episode for today. We have done so much. We basically built almost the whole village, which is so cool, and I love it so much. So I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more from this series, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye!